Today I'll be teaching about the lesson number 2 from unit 2, which is Al-Fil Mudare, which is the present or the future tense. In the Madi or the past tense, you make changes at the end of the word, which means the suffixes were added, like fa'ala, fa'ala, fa'alu, fa'alat, fa'alata, fa'alna. But in the Mudare, both prefix and suffixes are added and you change the first letter or the beginning of the word. Al-Mudare includes both present tense and future tense. In Arabic, we don't learn the future tense. The present tense is good enough to actually mean the future tense. For example, you have yansuru. This can be translated as he helps, the present tense, or it can even be translated as he will help, which is the future tense. And the signs of mudare or the alamate mudare are 4. They are alif, noon, ya, and ta. So al-fi'l al-mudare can start with these letters. So whenever you see the alamate mudare, you can make out that this is a mudare. You can differentiate between the madi and the mudare. And how I remember is alif, noon, ya, ta, like Anita. There could be different kind of situations when somebody gets killed. For example, we have waman qatala mu'minan khat'an, which means whoever killed. Here qatala is the past tense. When a murder is committed by mistake, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses the past tense. Something that happened one time. It was a mistake. But this example, وَمَنْ يَقْتُلْ مُؤْمِنًا مُتَعَمَدًا, whoever kills, يَقْتُلُ, which is the present tense, al-mudare. When a murder is on purpose, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses the present tense, something that is happening continuously. For example, if I say I ate pizza, it's one time, it's the past tense. But when I say I eat pizza, it could be every day or every week. Similarly, I watched a movie, past tense, one time. I watch a movie continuously, regularly. If anyone kills anybody by mistake, it's not gonna happen again. It was just once, like once in lifetime thing. But if someone kills on purpose, the continuity of the threat is captured in present tense, has the chance to continue. The present tense is imperfect tense. It's incomplete because the action is still continuing. The present tense is used with actions that are still in progress. For example, if someone says, I'm eating, you enter her room, she's eating. She tells you that she's eating. She's still eating while talking to you. And other examples also, if I say I'm reading, or I work, or I swim, they're all mudare, the present tense. In English, there are a couple of ways of expressing a present tense. For example, I can say I study, or even I can say I am studying. They both carry slightly different meaning. But in Arabic, al-fi'l al-mudare is used to express both of those ideas, like this is in simple present and present continuous. Like in the past tense, here also you don't need to use individual pronouns. Like you don't have to say huwa yansuru. You just say yansuru. Here the pronoun huwa or he is hidden inside the fi'l. And again, present tense verbs are conjugated with both prefixes and suffixes, whereas past tense requires only suffixes. This I've already explained. Let's take the conjugation table for mudare. Let's take the example of fa'ala yaf'alu. Fa'ala is the past tense, which means he did already. And yaf'alu is he does or he will do. This is the mudare. So the conjugation table is pretty much the same. The only thing is all the pronouns are the same pronouns which are hidden. The only thing is we are adding suffixes and prefixes here. So we have yaf'alu, yaf'alani, yaf'aluna, taf'alu, taf'alani, yaf'alna. So this is for the second person masculine. He does or it does or he will do. Yaf'alani, they both do or they both will do. Yaf'aluna, they all do or they will do. And these are the pronouns which are hidden inside them. Third person feminine would be taf'alu, taf'alani, yaf'alna. So here, hiya, huma and hunna are hidden. She does, it does, or she will do. And then second person masculine and feminine would be taf'alu, taf'alani, taf'aluna. For the feminine, taf'alina, taf'alani, taf'alna. Af'alu, naf'alu, naf'alu. This is for the first person masculine and feminine. So some points to be noted for the above conjugation table is, in the past tense, three-lettered verbs did not display prefixes like fa'ala, fa'ala, fa'alu, fa'alat, fa'alata, fa'alna. Only suffixes were added. But here for the mudare, both prefixes and suffixes are added. And the prefixes are called as the signs of mudare. Like I explained, alif, noon, and ya, and ta, anita. So these are the alamate mudare, and these are placed in the beginning of the mudare. So here you can notice the letter ya is placed for the masculine third person singular, dual and plural, and feminine third person plural. You can see yaf'alu, yaf'alani, and yaf'aluna, and yaf'alna. So this has occurred 4 times. The alamat mudare ya has occurred 4 times. And if I take the alamat mudare, the ta, this has come like taf'alu, taf'alani, taf'alu, taf'alani, taf'aluna, taf'alina, taf'alani, taf'alna. This has occurred 8 times. This is the alamat mudare ta. This has occurred 8 times. You can see ta, everything starting with the ta. And one more thing you might notice is this taf'alu and taf'alu. For the third person feminine singular and second person masculine singular is same. Taf'alu and taf'alu. And also for the dual, third person and the second person dual, for the feminine and masculine and feminine for the second person, this is same. Taf'alani, taf'alani, taf'alani. You can see this. And the alif is placed for the masculine and feminine first person singular only. So this has occurred only 1 time, like af'alu. And now the which is remaining, this is the noon. The noon is placed for masculine and feminine first person plural, like naf'alu and naf'alu. This has occurred 2 times and this has occurred only 1 time. And the next point is the signs of mudare, which are alif, noon, ya, and ta, anita. So these are always placed by a fatha on top for the 3-lettered verbs like yaf'alu, taf'alu, taf'alu, af'alu, naf'alu. So all the alamat mudare are having a fatha on them. There are a few words in Quran which you might see are having a dhamma, which you will be learning in the later future lessons, inshallah. The next point is the suffixes are placed to indicate dual and plural for the second and the third person. Like you have ani is used for masculine and feminine dual, like yaf'alani, taf'alani, taf'alani, taf'alani. So these are used for the dual. And wawnun is used for the plural ending. Like in noun we have learned muslimuna. So here also we have masculine plural is yaf'aluna and taf'aluna. So they are having wawnun ending for the masculine plural. But here for the feminine plural, there's a slight difference. So here we have noon with the fatha for the feminine plural, like taf'alna and yaf'alna. So here we have noon with the fatha for the feminine plural. So there are no suffixes for the first person, like af'alu, naf'alu, naf'alu. The evident i'rab, dhamma is seen over the last letter of the verbs without the suffixes. You just have af'alu, like yaf'alu, we have af'alu, naf'alu, naf'alu. For verbs with suffixes, a dhamma is in the form of noon with the kasra for the dual and noon with the fatha for the plural, like we learned yaf'alani, taf'alani. So this is actually a dhamma, but this is in the form of noon with the kasra, yaf'alani, taf'alani. So whenever you see a verb ending with the noon with the kasra, you should know that it is in the marfu form or the dhamma form. And for the feminine plural, it is with the noon with the fatha, like yaf'alna and taf'alna. Recall that the middle letter of the verb of the past tense was fatha, dhamma or kasra. For this mudare also it is variable, fatha or dhamma or kasra. And the harka of the middle letter of the present or the future tense does not have to match the harka of the past tense. Okay. So now let's learn a few combinations. So here, like you have in the madi, we have fa'ala, and in the mudare we have yaf'alu. So the middle letter here, the ain, the second radical ain is having a fatha, but in this you have ain is having a fatha, the same thing, fa'ala, yaf'alu. But in case of nasara yansuru, you have a fatha on the second radical nasara, but in case of yansuru, you have a dhamma. So here the changes takes place on the ain radical, and there are 6 combinations of mudare which you will be learning here. The first combination is nasara yansuru. Here, the middle radical, the second radical sod is having a fatha, and here the second radical sod is having a dhamma. So this is the first combination where you have fatha on the madi and dhamma on the mudare. And the second combination is daraba yadribu, to hit. So here we have daraba ra, we have a fatha on the second radical ra, and in the in the mudare you have a kasra. So this is the second combination, fatha and kasra. And the third combination is sami'a yasma'u, to hear. So here we have kasra on the middle letter, and here yasma'u we have a fatha. So this is kasra and fatha. This is the third combination. The fourth combination is fataha yaftahu. Both are having a fatha. Fataha yaftahu. And we have karuma yakrumu. Both are having a dhamma. And hasiba yahsibu. Both are having a kasra. So these are the 6 combinations you need to remember, because most of the verbs are from these 6 combinations. Let's take some examples of these combinations and make a conjugation table out of it. The first combination is nasara yansuru, which means to help. So the third person masculine would be yansuru, yansurani, yansuruna. Tansuru, tansurani, yansurna. Like yaf'alna, this is yansurna. He helps or he will help. They both help or they both will help. They all help or they all will help. Second person masculine and feminine would be tansuru, tansurani, tansuruna. Tansurina, tansurani, tansurna. So you help, you will help, you both help or you both will help, you all help or you all will help. And we have first person masculine and feminine. We have ansuru, nansuru, nansuru, like af'alu, naf'alu, naf'alu. I help or I will help, we all help or we all will help. And let's take the second combination, which is daraba yadribu, which means to hit. We have yadribu, yadribani, yadribuna. Tadribu, tadribani, yadribna. Like yaf'alna, we have yadribna. He hits or he will hit. They both hit or they both will hit. They all hit or they all will hit. For the second person, masculine and feminine, we have tadribu, tadribani, tadribuna. Tadribina, tadribani, tadribna. You hit, you will hit. You both hit or you both will hit. You all hit or you all will hit. For the first person masculine and feminine, it is adribu, nadribu, nadribu. Like af'alu, naf'alu, naf'alu. I hit or I will hit. We both hit or we all hit. And the same second combination, we have one more example, which is zalama yazlimu, to wrong. Yazlimu, yazlimani, yazlimuna. Tazlimu, tazlimani, yazlimna. Like yaf'alna, yazlimna. Tazlimu, tazlimani, tazlimuna. Tadlimina, tadlimani, tadlimna. Azlimu, nazlimu, nazlimu. Let's take the third combination, which is sami'a, yasma'u, which is yasma'u, yasma'ani, yasma'una. Tasma'u, tasma'ani, yasma'na. Tasma'u, tasma'ani, tasma'una. Tasma'ina, tasma'ani, tasma'na. Asma'u, nasma'u, nasma'u. He hears, he will hear, they both hear, they all hear, and I hear or I will hear, you know the meanings there. Let's take the same combination. The different example is alima ya'lamu, which means to know. Alima ya'lamu, he knows. Ya'lamu, ya'lamani, ya'lamuna. Ta'lamu, ta'lamani, ya'lamna. Like yaf'alna, ya'lamna. Ta'lamu, ta'lamani, ta'lamuna. Ta'lamina, ta'lamani, ta'lamna. A'lamu, na'lamu, na'lamu. And the fourth combination is fataha yaftahu, which means to open. So you have yaftahu, yaftahani, yaftahuna. Taftahu, taftahani, yaftahna. Like yaf'alna, yaftahna. Taftahu, taftahani, taftahuna. Taftahina, taftahani, taftahna. Aftahu, naftahu, naftahu. The same combination we have alima ya'lamu. Ya'lamu, ya'lamani, ya'lamuna. Ta'lamu, ta'lamani, ya'lamna. Like yaf'alna, ya'lamna. Ta'lamu, ta'lamani, ta'lamuna. Ta'lamina, ta'lamani, ta'lamna. A'lamu, na'lamu, na'lamu. You can notice ta'lamu and ta'lamu is same for third person feminine and second person masculine singular. And ta'lamani, ta'lamani, ta'lamani is same for the dual third person feminine and second person masculine and feminine. And fifth combination is karuma yakrumu, which means to be generous. So here we have yakrumu, yakrumani, yakrumuna, takrumu, takrumani, yakrumna, like yaf'alna, yakrumna. And also notice the harakas, the, like, you know, if there is a fatha on the ra, it will remain as fatha on the whole chart, like takrumani, yakrumna, takrumu, takrumani, takrumuna, takrumina, takrumani, takrumna, akrumu, nakrumu, nakrumu. And the sixth and the last combination is hasiba, yahsibu, to think. We have yahsibu, yahsibani, yahsibuna, tahsibu, tahsibani, yahsibna, like yaf'alna, yahsibna. And again, you can notice sin is having a kasra, and all the way down the chart, you have sin is having a kasra. Tahsibu, tahsibani, tahsibuna, tahsibina, tahsibani, tahsibna, ahsibu, nahsibu, nahsibu. And in the same combination, we have one more example, which is labisa, yalbisu, which means to wear. We have yalbisu, yalbisani, yalbisuna, talbisu, talbisani, yalbisna. Like yaf'alna, we have yalbisna. And notice ba is having kasra all the way down throughout the chart. Talbisu, talbisani, talbisuna, talbisina, talbisani, talbisna. Albisu, nalbisu, nalbisu. And alhamdulillah, we're done with the conjugation table. Let's take some examples from the Quran. Let's take Surah Nasr. وَرَأَيْتَ النَّاسَ يَدْخُلُونَ فِي دِينِ اللَّهِ أَفْوَاجًا. So here, what could be the Fil Mudare? Can you think of that? You should look for the alamat mudare. What are the alamat mudare? Alif, noon, and ya and ta. So here you can see yadkhuluna, which is from dakhala yadkhulu. Okay. So this is from which combination can you think of? I just now taught you, which is nasara yansuru, dakhala yadkhulu. See the people entering. This is the mudare. This is the present tense, entering into the religion of Allah in multitudes. And yadkhuluna, this is the third person masculine. Next example is Allahu a'lamu haythu yaj'alu risalatahu. And here again you can see yaj'alu. We have from ja'ala yaj'alu. And we have from Surah Humaza, we have yahsabu anna malahu akhlada. Again we have hasiba, yahsabu, the last combination, hasiba, yahsabu, he thinks. Let's take some more examples from Quran. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. لَعَلَّهُمْ يَرْجِعُونَ, so that they may return. So what do you think is a fi'l mudare here? This is yarji'una. This is from raja'a yarji'u. Yarji'una. You can see the alamat mudare ya. This is from raja'a yarji'u. So what combination is this? Raja'a yarji'u. Like daraba yadribu, the second combination. Next example is وَالنَّجْمُ وَالشَّجَرُ يَسْجُدَانِ. So here we have and the stars and the trees both prostrate. So yasjudan is the mudare, and this is from sajada yasjudu. So this is which combination? Nasara yansuru. And yasjudan, what do you think? Is it singular, dual, or plural? You should look at the ending. This is ani ending. So ani endings are always dual. So they both prostrate. You can see in the translation, which means they both prostrate. Yasjudani is in the form of yaf'alani. And next is asma'u wa ara. So here, what do you think is a mudare here? Yes, it is sami'a, yasma'u, and asma'u. So sami'a, yasma'u is the third combination. We have asma'u, and asma'u, whenever you see the alamat mudare alif, this is the the first person singular, af'alu. So this is asma'u, I hear. And there's one more mudare here. This is wa'ara, which means an I see. But this is these are called as the nakis verbs. The verbs which have alif, ya, or waw in them, they are called as weak verbs or nakis verbs. This you will be learning in the future lessons, inshallah. For now, just remember this is also a mudare. And we have al-yawma yaghfirullaha. So here we have yaghfirullaha, which is the mudare. Again, yaghfiru. This is from ghafara yaghfiru. So this is like ghafara yaghfiru is like daraba yadribu. Allah will forgive. And Allahu is the file because this is the marfu. So you translate as Allah will forgive. We have ya'lamuna ma taf'alun. We have two mudare here. What are the signs? Ya and then ta here. And this ya'lamuna is from alima ya'lamu. And ya'lamuna is in the pattern of yaf'aluna, third person, masculine and plural. They all know or they know. Whatever you all know. Taf'aluna. Taf'aluna is what? This is second person, masculine and plural. Taf'aluna. This is from fa'ala yaf'alu. We have وَيَوْمَئِذٍ يَفْرَحُ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ. So we have يَفْرَحُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. So what do you see the alamat mudare? Yes, ya is the alamat mudare, which means faraha yafrahu. This is the madi and this is the mudare. And how do you translate this? The believers will rejoice. And that day, the believers will rejoice. And again, mu'minuna is the marfu form. That's why this is the file. You translate the believers will rejoice. Yafrahu. We have yakhruju minhumal lu'lu wal marjan. So here we have yakhruju. Yakhruju is from what? Kharaja and yakhruju. So kharaja is and yakhruju. So which pattern, which combination is this? Nasara yansuru. Kharaja yakhruju is to exit. And we have haythu yaj'alu risalatahi sa yusibu. So here we have haythu yaj'alu. Yaj'alu is from what? This is from ja'ala yaj'alu. He places. And he places who? He places his message. Risalata. This is mansub. This is maful bihi to this verb. Yaj'alu. And we have yahsabu. Yahsabu anna malahu. So we have hasiba yahsabu. This is the last combination, the sixth combination. Hasiba is to think. Yahsibu and thinking. A few more things you need to learn in mudare is a mudare is limited to the future tense only when it is preceded by seen with the fatha sa or saufa. So seen with the fatha, which means near future, and saufa is very soon. Saufa is sooner. This is really soon or stronger or a bigger word, which means way quicker, more powerful in soonness than seen. This with the fatha sa. These comes in the beginning of the mudare. So for example, we have yaktubu, which means he writes. This is the mudare. But when you say sa yaktubu, which means soon he's gonna write. If you want really soon, you use saufa. Saufa yaktubu. Really soon he's gonna write. It's pretty soon. Some examples from Quran are Kalla saufa ta'lamun. So here we have nay, you shall come to know. So we have saufa ta'lamun. So we have really soon they'll come to know. Ta'lamun is you'll come to know. Wala saufa yu'tika rabbuka fatarda. Again we have wala saufa. So we have saufa and yu'tika. So again we have saufa and then the mudare. This you'll be learning in the future lessons why ya is having a dhamma. Next is sayaj'alullahu ba'da usri yusra. So we have sa yaj'alu, ja'ala yaj'alu, but you have this is preceded with ya. So Allah will bring about after hardship ease. So this is talking about the future. So when you want to limit only to the future, then you use sa or saufa in Arabic. Sanada'u zabaniya. We will call the angels of hell. So we have nada'u here. So nada'u, but this is preceded with the seen. So we will call the angels. And we have kalla sanaktubu ma yaqulu wa namuddu lahu min al-azabi madda. So here, no, we will record what he says. So kalla sanaktubu. This was naktubu. Okay, but it is preceded with seen. That's why it is we will record. Qala sananzuru asadaqta am kunta minal kadhibina. So again we have nanzuru here. Nazara yanzuru, nanzuru. But again this is preceded with seen. So which means we will see. Yeah. Alhamdulillah, we are done with the lesson number 2 of unit 2, the mudare. If